Hey folks, it's week 3 of DC month. I'm Jim, this is Leila, and Julie. It's Geeking Out, episode 213. It's only one more week until I'm free of DC for a whole another year.
You're over the hump now.
Oh, I know.
Yes.
So, good. But next week is probably going to be the most terrible week for titles, I think.
I don't know. Dark Knight, Batman Incorporated,
Talon
looks interesting,
Yeah, there's some good ones in there.
Yeah,
but a lot of the
fine.
titles that are coming out have already been canceled series, so we'll see how it turns out. But
yes.
We're 1 week away from our finale of DC Zero Month. But let's start off with Leila and Batwoman number 0.
Yes. This is Batwoman number 0, and in a recorded goodbye message of sorts to her dad, Kate recalls her life growing up, the deaths of her mother and sister, her brutal training arranged by her father, and the moment she feels she really became Batwoman. This is an excellent Zero issue. Very emotional and insightful. It's an awesome look into Kate Kane and who she is. It also has a lot of action. So I thought that was really good.
Generally a good thing in a Bat title.
Yes. But I don't like the art in the flashback sections. It's not it's not the same look that we're used to. And I didn't enjoy it as much. But other than that, this was a really great story, and it, like I said, lots of emotion and insight into the character that I really appreciated. Even though I'm not following Batwoman that much, it's probably one of the only Bat titles I'm not really reading all the time. I did enjoy this one, and maybe this will draw me back into the series.
Alright, next up we have Blue Beetle, number 0. And in this one, when blasted into space by OMAC, the bioweapon Kajida tells his host Jamie Reyes how it basically came to be on Earth and the various beings and humans it had bonded with. Okay, so yeah, this is mad.
The whole Blue Beetle thing always sort of reminds me of like the Trill Race in Star Trek. You know?
I mean, it's not that interesting, and the art is pretty darn good in here, but when you have a character that's kind of boring, it kind of, it's just kind of mad at best.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not terrible. I've read much worse.
Yeah.
But Captain Atom. But I just could not get into the characters here. They just didn't seem to really jump out at me and be characters I could really care about.
Yeah, I think you really either really love Blue Beetle or you just don't connect with it. You know?
It's not a strong title for me this week, but if you're a Blue Beetle fan, then I guess you should probably check it out. But otherwise, it's not really necessary reading for pretty much anyone in the DC universe of fans.
Alright. My first title this week is DC Universe Presents, which is actually a 5-part book. This book hits on OMAC, Mr. Terrific, Hawk and Dove, Black Hawks, and Deadman.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah, so you've got maybe 10 pages for each. It tells a very short story for each of them. And since they're so short, I'm not really going to get into them because I would tell you the entire thing in the synopsis.
Yes.
However, it is, if you enjoyed these characters, it's a great way to see them again because all of these titles have been canceled.
Yep.
So, as that stands, it's pretty fantastic. I will say that I really enjoyed the Hawk and Dove story, and the Mr. Terrific was pretty terrific, not gonna lie.
There you go.
So, if you enjoyed those, pick it up.
Okay, next up.
Because you'll never see them again.
It could happen.
Oh no, it'll happen again. Like,
of course.
This is how many volumes of OMAC anyway. Like, you know what I mean?
Yep.
So, yes. Next up, we've got Catwoman number 0. Who is Selina Kyle? That is the question. In this,
Catwoman.
No, well, but there's more than that. In this issue, Catwoman recalls her induction into the mayor's Second Chance program for at-risk youth, which surprisingly leads her to a shocking discovery about herself. And now she's chasing...
She's Catwoman.
No. Now she's chasing a past she can't recall while constantly struggling with her good and bad sides. I liked how this issue played out. I like the layers that they've added to Catwoman, but more specifically to Selina. And I'm excited about the possibilities in the future because Selina might not even be Selina. The whole thing is that, yes, that might not even be her real name.
Dun, dun,
and that there's a lot more in her past that she doesn't know. So I was like, that is really interesting.
She's
That's
a
cool.
clone.
You know, so if they're making a bit of a change to Catwoman's backstory, I mean, I'm pretty on board. This was pretty good. But this is a Zero issue, so now I'm wondering, like, is it just going to be now there's nothing going on with that for a while, or are they going to pick that up eventually? But I really enjoyed this one. I thought it was a great read.
All right, next up we have the very, very disappointing Captain Atom #0. All right, and in this one, Captain Nathaniel Atom volunteers for a dangerous experiment and is supposedly killed. A month later, he reforms as the metahuman, now known as Captain Atom.
So it's like your origin deal.
That's pretty much
right.
it. That's pretty much the entire story you're told here. There's really nothing here to really get you into this character or really know who he is. It's just like, I've had a bad life. I'm going to go fly experimental airplanes and do experimental things with chemicals. Bye! It's like, no.
It sounds like a decent way to live.
Yeah.
I suppose. Where this book really suffers is, number one, the art. It's just mud ugly.
Yeah.
There are panels in this book that I just like, I don't know what I'm looking at. It just looks bad. Story-wise, it's pretty meh at best as well, because it's just, like I said, if you can't have a character you're going to care about, then why write about him? And really, I can't care about this character because he does nothing.
Yeah, that's hard.
It's like, let me want to care about this character. Tell me a bit of his past. Tell me about who he is. Why is he in the military? Why is he doing stuff? Why is he... I mean, really, it's not hard to do.
Yes.
It's really not. And they fail on every level here. It's just basically the common story of, I work with the military. That's my job.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm stressed. I'm leaving. Bye.
Yeah, and they focus
like,
more on the becoming Captain Atom part.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, that's okay. I'm fine with that. It makes a weird kind of sense in the whole experiment type thing, but it just fails all over the board on being an actual character study.
Yeah.
That's where it fails for me. But if you're a Captain Atom fan and you want to know how this iteration of Captain Atom came to be, which is pretty much the same as the last Captain Atom,
Pretty much, yeah.
then yeah, pick this one up, but I can't recommend it.
My second book was Legion of Superheroes, which was an alright book. It deals primarily with Brainiac 5.
Oh, yeah.
Yes! So that was kind of neat.
Yeah.
You're actually on his home planet. You get to hear a little bit about Brainiac, and it was a little bit confusing for me because I haven't been following this title at all. So stepping in, I was dealing with entirely new characters and entirely new spectrums of things. So that was a little bit challenging, and it was an alright book, but it wasn't something that I was like, oh man, that's really cool. I really wish that I had followed this from the beginning.
Yeah.
I'm sort of doing that was kind of neat, and it's cool that Brainiac 5, did that, because they're talking entirely about the worst thing he's ever done. But it was a little see-through.
Yeah.
So, if you're a fan of Brainiac 5, like Leila, you might want to give it a flick just for the character study on him. Otherwise, I don't think I'd bother.
Alright, next up, we got Supergirl #0. And on Krypton, Zor-El feverishly tries to rush to complete a copy of his brother's prototype, a rocket, to save the life of his daughter, Kara. Yes, sounding a little familiar, right? Of course he hopes...
Yeah, I wonder where we've heard that before.
Yes, it's very similar to Superman, but nobody's surprised there, right? Okay. So of course he hopes the shield system he created will save the city of Argo, during the destruction of Krypton, but just in case, he's got this contingency plan. So it was okay. I mean, it's a lot of a repeat of sort of Kal-El's story a bit, in that it's the whole rocket to get off of Krypton and survive.
AKA, we've seen it all before.
We've seen that part before. Yeah. However, what was interesting in this book was a very brief reference to Zor-El conducting cloning experiments as well. And things that other Kryptonians would not, like that he was hiding from the Science Council because he would be shunned for it, right? So that was interesting, and I wonder if this is going to play it all into Superboy's story later, which they still haven't revealed, you know, how he was cloned and all that stuff. And will it turn out that it was, you know, based off of all of this experimentation from Krypton that's traveled here, or will it be something completely different? But I thought that this was a really good look into Zor-El and into Kara and her mom and their dynamics. But again, it's very much like, you know, the last moments of Krypton that we're familiar with Superman. But like I said...
Let it go boom.
Yes. But like I said, there's a couple of kernels in here that perhaps they're planting seeds for later in this series or others that I did find interesting. So a worthwhile read just for that.
Alright. Next up is Amethyst, or Sword of Sorcery, number 0. And in this one, Amy Winston leads a strange life on the road with her overprotective mother. But soon, she learns why all that was necessary as she discovers she's the last princess of Gem World and has powerful enemies hunting her down.
Dun dun dun!
Alright, so if you know anything about Amethyst, you knew it was a series way back in the 80s from DC. This reiteration of the story is a little bit different and is actually not half bad. It's actually being written by the creator of Gem and the Holograms and a writer on Transformers, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and all your favorite classic 80s cartoons. So it's got a little bit of that going for it, and I actually kind of like that a little bit. It's not bad. It does have a character that you can relate to a little bit, in that sometimes we do get run around a lot and not be able to get to know people or get to know where we are, that kind of thing. It's happened to us all at one point in our lives, I have no doubt. But where it kind of flops around a bit is when it actually leads into the other universe.
Yeah.
And I think Julie will agree with me on that.
I do agree.
And it's just... There's a little joke that works, but there's a whole bunch of stuff that just doesn't work here, and I'm kind of looking forward to it to see what happens.
Yes.
Because I want to see what happens, but really when you bring the characters over and turn them to pretty much exactly the same...
It became really difficult to figure out which character was which and what was going on.
Yeah, and that's not a good thing to do in your comic.
Especially not a first one.
Exactly. Because it's going to confuse the readers. Now, yeah, I'm pretty darn sure they're going to kill a certain character the next one, but we don't know yet.
Still challenging for a first read.
Yeah. But overall, I enjoyed it, and if you're an old school Amethyst fan, you might as well, so check it out if you want.
Next up for me, I have Green Lantern's New Guardians. New Guardians is less of a New Guardians story and more of a Kyle Rayner story.
Yes, I've heard that.
Kyle Rayner.
Yeah.
He's very much the star of this New Guardians issue. I'm not going to say too much again because I'm afraid of giving away a lot of the plot. But I did find there were parts that were terribly cliched and very see-through. And even for me, coming on not having read the last few issues of New Guardians, I don't know exactly what's happened. But reading it, I was sort of like, I could see this happening. It's been done before. Give me something new.
Yeah, that's my big problem with a lot of this stuff. It's just retreading a lot of ground we've already been covered before.
Yeah.
Multiple times.
Yeah. That said, for me coming in, learning a little bit more about the different factions of Green Lanterns was kind of really neat. especially the star sapphires that deal in love. I was like, oh, that's adorable.
Yeah, the different cores are kind of neat. Yes.
Cliched, but it's adorable.
Yes.
Yeah.
But again, if you like Kyle Rayner, pick it up.
All right, next up for me is Wonder Woman number 0. Now, in this trip to the past, Diana is about 12 years old and living in Themyscira, right? So, you know, we're still...
Long way away from her
yes.
coming to civilization.
Yes. So, already exhibiting skills way beyond her age, a powerful ally approaches her and offers to train her in the way of the warrior. And a year later, Diana faces...
It's Xena!
Wait. A year later, Diana faces her greatest challenge, a minotaur in a maze. Will she have the killer instinct she has been taught by none other than dun 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 War? That's right. That's who her tutor is. So I enjoyed this. It was interesting to get a glimpse of, you know, a young Diana and living in that world. The story's well done. The art in this series still isn't my favorite. It did work well in this, though, because I guess I don't have as much of a mental image of Wonder Woman the way I want to see her when she's young.
Yeah.
And I did like the choice to go like to the skirt, which I love, like the 50s Wonder Woman with the skirt. I thought that was neat. So I liked it for all of that. It was really well done. Just normally when I got her back in, you know, regular universe, it just bothers me. But here, you know, I could live with it, and I actually really enjoyed this story. So, you know, if you're a Wonder Woman fan, I think you're gonna like this too.
All right, and my last book of the week is Birds of Prey number 0, and in this one, Black Canary must infiltrate Penguin's iceberg lounge and work undercover to try and stop the sale of a mutation bomb. But her plan may go astray when Batgirl shows up trying to do the same thing a lot less covertly.
There you go.
So, how many people have been attached to this mutation bomb so far?
Yeah, I know, eh?
I'm thinking of at least 4.
Yeah. So, yeah, this is another one of those mutation bomb stories. So, yeah, it's going around.
Yeah.
But this one actually has a really good base of characters here. You got Batgirl, you got Black Canary, and you got one more whose name I cannot remember for the life of me, but oh well.
Because it's not Oracle.
Yeah.
And since it's not Oracle, it's not Oracle.
Exactly. But, yeah, this book's actually a lot of fun, and it's actually pretty fun to see Black Canary kick Penguin's cronies' asses and all over the place. I like that. It's always fun to see that. Batgirl in here is pretty quippy, which is nice.
Yay!
So I enjoyed that, and you do get the origin of how Batgirl and Black Canary basically came together to form the Birds of Prey.
Cool.
And leading up to the new team that's in the new series. So I liked it for that. It was actually pretty good, and it was an overall enjoyable story. So if you're a fan of Birds of Prey and you want to see just how this universe's Birds of Prey came together, then check this one out. I actually kind of enjoyed it, and it's got a really interesting twist ending.
Nice. 4th book for me this week was Red Hood and the Outlaws. I liked it. It was a Jason Todd origin story. It made me happy because they did it properly.
Well, we can be thankful for that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
for
he grew up in the rough household with the you know, kind of sketchy dad and the drug addicted mom and whole 9 yards. Orphan, takes care of himself, ends up in Batman's care, brought into the Robin suit. It's pretty fantastic, and there's a wonderful, wonderful twist at the end that I think everybody out there will enjoy. Especially, like, not even if you're a Red Hood fan or a Jason Todd fan, even if you're just a fan of the Bat family, you'll like the last 4 pages.
That's cool.
So, pick this one up. Not if you're into this. Just do it.
Julie says pick it up. Do it now! Go! Yes. Wait. Come back. We still have reviews to do.
Yes, we have 2 more books to do. Don't go yet.
Alright.
So last for me was Justice League number 0, and this is the origin story for Shazam.
You mean Captain Marvel?
Shazam! No, Shazam!
You mean Captain Marvel.
So anyway, we follow Billy Batson as he's called by the last of the Council of Wizards and is given great power and a destiny to stop Black Adam from awakening the 7 deadly sins of man. But first, he has to have some fun with his new powers. I mean, why not?
Can you blame
He's
him?
a kid.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is okay. The standout here is the art by Gary Frank. That is awesome.
Well, Gary Frank has always been a really good artist.
Yes,
so,
it is really beautiful. Now, Jeff Johns tells a pretty good story here. I just don't find Shazam interesting, and never really have.
You mean Captain Marvel.
So, you know, I mean, they had some fun with it here, you know, and explored, like, you know, when if you're a little kid who gets, like, these immense powers and all of a sudden you're grown up. Wait, they did that in Big, didn't they?
Yeah.
Except he didn't have powers. But,
yeah.
but some of it felt like that, you know, like...
You're damn straight that you're going to mess shit up.
You're gonna play with it.
You're gonna have some fun. So, you know, of course he does that. And, you know, and so, I mean, for that, I mean, it was kind of fun and gorgeous to look at. It just probably... It wasn't the Justice League book that I was looking forward to as a number 0. But, you know, if you're a Shazam fan, then I'm sure you're going to like this.
I have no more books.
Last book of the week goes to me with Nightwing, which was hands down my favorite book so far. But that might be because he's my favorite character.
Yes, it might be.
I'm a little bit biased. It's also because they gave him the right backstory again.
Yay!
So
that's 2.
We still have Tony Zuko fraying the trapeze wires. We still have Dick going to the orphanage and Batman looking in on him. Well, sorry, my bad. Bruce Wayne looking in on him. We still have Dick going out on his own to beat people up and getting in the way of Batman.
Yeah.
I was super happy with it. I'm not gonna lie, the first time I read it, I squealed like a little girl, and then I reread it again.
Nice.
So,
and trust me, you don't want to hear her squeal like a little girl.
it's true.
It's ear piercing.
I think Jim's ears might still be bleeding, but awkward. Anyways, I would pick this up in conjunction with Red Hood, because, you know, they go together, since they were both
They're
Robins.
like peanut butter and jam.
Exactly. But, good book. I loved it.
With a deadly ninja star.
Birderings.
All right.
Birderings.
Yes. All right, so next week is the final week of DC 55-0 month. We've chosen 3 titles that we're each going to read. I'm going to be doing Justice League Dark. Julie's going to do Teen Titans. And Leila's going to do Batman the Dark Knight. So that leaves 11 titles for us to choose from.
Yes, and it's my week to do 5 again.
Yep,
so I'm going to pick 4 right now, right?
Yep. Pick 4. We're doing a little different.
3, 4. Yeah, that way I can just prepare for
All right.
what I have here.
You can pick 3.
1, 2. Hoping for a Talon, hoping for a Talon, hoping for a Talon. 3.
All right, and I will pick the 4 that are left. All right, so what do we got?
I got I, Vampire, Fury of Firestorm, Superman, and Savage Hawkman.
I'm going to piss you all off.
Yeah, I know. I have your list here going, I hate you right now.
I know what I have, and I know what Leila has.
All right, so I get Batman Inc. Talon.
Damn it.
I also have to suffer through Voodoo.
That's only fair.
Yeah. I don't feel bad at all.
And The Flash.
Yeah.
I don't feel bad at all.
Oh.
All right.
And I've got Red Lantern, All-Star Western, and Aquaman, which I'm actually pretty happy about Aquaman. We were talking about him earlier.
Aquaman does not suck.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mentioning earlier, and I was
Kind of
kind
does.
of...
But,
I
yeah.
almost gave up Teen Titans in favor of Aquaman,
Yeah.
so I'm glad I have both.
Yes.
Yep.
Not disappointed.
All right, so that brings us to the close of another exciting episode. We will be back next week. We will see you later. Bye.
Bye.
Because I'm the star of the show.
Oh, are you now? We'll just let you believe that.
It's a joke.
Uh-huh.
It is.
Likely story.
I love you. All right.
Enough silliness.
Oh, come on. We can never be done being silly.
It's true. Is it going to beach for us?
No. It's already started.
It's recording now.
It's recording
Awesome.
right
If
now.
Jim's really mean, he'll put it up.
Yeah. And I might.
Bloopers afterwards?
Yeah.
Possibly. All right. Oh, we'll take care of that.
And this is what